we're back. Onslaught is back to 3. Amazonists are back at full power, kinda. We still have something at 3, something at 2 on the list, so a little restricted in what cards we can use, but we're mostly back at full power. This is a super budget, super free. Oh, ignore the bookaboos, ignore ignore the lances. This is a super budget, super free to play friendly deck. Use whatever back row you got. So if you whatever ones you got, don't have to worry about having those expensive ones. Those are just my ones of choice. But this is probably the most budget free to play deck you can possibly get. Everything in here is coming off of ring tickets or Karibo tickets, stuff like that. You only got to go through one box one time, and it's the same box that you're going to get Canadia in. So if you're a new player, budget player, this is your first deck I would recommend going for. I started an account for my brother because it's his favorite deck that he likes, and this is honestly the best deck you can go for right off the rip. Because it's going to get you so many things and take you so far, especially now that we have Onslaught to 3. As I said, free to play friendly deck. Only got to go through one box to get it, one time. And it's definitely King of Games worthy. We had a 13-7 record win this deck when we were playing with it. It's pretty solid, definitely good enough to hit COG. Several people have been doing so this month. So if you're, like I said, just starting out, definitely a good deck to start out with. So this deck runs very similar to how it did before. Amazonist Onslaught turns all your monsters into DD Warrior Ladies, basically. Anything that they battle is going to get banished at the end of the damage step. So it's great for removing monsters that get around those destruction effects. Great for preventing graveyard effects from triggering. It's just an amazing way to remove monsters. Especially when none of your monsters can be destroyed by battle with Amazonist Clean. They can just sit there banishing everything, and it can be just frustrating for some decks to deal with. We can of course search for Onslaught with Princess, normal or special summon her, and you search your deck for an Amazonist spell or trap card. And anytime you declare an attack with her, discard something from your hand or from the field, special summon the Amazon spells from your deck, like your Amazonist Queen. We can also bring out things like the Baby Tiger or the Swordswoman. Anytime they battle something, they also will banish that monster as long as you have the Onslaught on the board. Baby Tiger can keep coming back from the graveyard every turn. Super effective in that aspect. And Spy can be special summoned from the hand. So it's another way to get monsters on the board to battle to remove your opponent's threats. Swordswoman is always stealing games for you, just a huge way to finish off your opponent. Anytime you got them down to less than 1,000 or 1,500 life points, swing into that blue eyes monster or whatever, finish them off that way. It's super frustrating to deal with. As I said, for back row, it doesn't really matter as much. Canadia comes in there, and I think it does go really well with the deck just because it puts an extra monster on the board. You do need to try to chip away at your opponent's life points with this deck sometimes. But beyond that, use whatever you have. If you have Fiendish, if you have Drowning Mirror Force, Floodgates, whatever trap cards you got, Shadow Spell, whatever you have access to. I like Light Imprisoning Mirror in this deck just because a lot of Blue Eyes decks right now, a lot of light attribute decks, so that was another choice I went with, but it doesn't matter too much. Whatever trap cards you got, use whatever you have access to. Same thing for your extra deck. It's not really that important. I don't think I XYZ summoned a single time, maybe one time in my 20 games. So it's really not important what XYZ monsters you use. Again, use whatever ones you got, whatever ones you have access to. These are the ones that I went with, but not a big deal. They're not a huge part of the deck. For our skill, we're using Holy Guard. And this is really nice because anytime you're a monster battle on your turn, you take no battle damage. So you can swing your Amazon monsters into theirs freely, banish things with Onslaught, and not worry about taking any damage. You can take your little 500 attack point Baby Tiger, swing it into a Blue Eyes, take no damage, and Onslaught will banish it. So it's a real useful skill to go with this deck. There are other ways to run it. I've seen people running Endless Trap Hell with this deck, as well as another one, or a couple other skills as well, but I definitely think Holy Guard is the best one at this point in time, given that we have the triple Onslaught now. Using Baby Tiger with it is just really effective. But yeah, like I said, super budget deck. Absolutely love to have this back. Damn near full power. Really excited to see it play. So, if you guys liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Bringing plenty more of these kind of videos forward. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Taking advantage of the fact that the skill hasn't been nerfed yet, I see. Yep, Princess in hand. Do and pass. Wind Barrel Dragon. Let's go ahead and fiendish this. So hopefully we can banish all of his monsters with the thought, and he won't be able to. As long as we can just banish everything. This judge. That has been semi-limited. He's choosing to run this over the... run this over the cup of ace. That's interesting. I think you have to be destroyed by grave instead. If it onslaught, we'll banish it, so lose the threat. We will take the damage, but that's totally... We'll summon... 34, we're short of game here. Short by 200. Onslaught. Can't tribute the Fiendish effect right now with the Swordswoman on the board. Doesn't have Temperance. Now he will have Misjudged to negate the Arrow Dragon here. But don't take any take any damage from that, so matter either way, unless he has Temperance here, and I don't think he does because last turn. Alright. Alright. Oh, is this Blackwing? I haven't played Blackwing in so long. I'm guessing it's Blackwing. I'm kind of confused. I'm going to just search for Onslaught. That. Battle phase. Trying to attack, yes. Let's ditch the Onslaught from our hands. Gonna go straight for the Queen. I know a lot of people like to bring out something like Tiger first. Obviously your opponent probably has removal. Cyclone, was not expecting that. It still gets destroyed, doesn't it? I don't know, let's find out. Forget, if it says destroy it, then it does. If it says destroy that target, it won't. So it works. I got Book and Canadia to flip his monster's face down. Oh, let's go ahead and hit it with Canadia. Because Book is a little bit more versatile. So I may want to save it. Also, because I wanted to get Canadia in the grave, but now it doesn't matter. Gonna flip them both over. Perfect, another back row card. So now, if he draws another monster, I have a response to shut it down. Actually, willpower isn't really useful right now with the whole... He's got a Necro Valley on the board, so it's probably better to just spend that away and bring out an additional monster onto the board. Probably should have brought out Swordswoman. It doesn't matter, I don't think. I think if he has a monster, we just shut it down here with the book and GG. Oh, there it goes.